Okay, time to go pretend to be productive and talk about suburbs. Okay, so on the way there, I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of West Side Portland. West Side Portland is a lot of like strip malls and suburban areas. Now, obviously, that's great for people who have families and good schools and things like that. But sometimes it's not what Portland is known for. Portland's known more for some of the trendier kind of East Side properties, East Side neighborhoods that are a little more like, I don't know, hipsters, right? Nothing wrong with that, but if that's what you're looking for, it's not West Side. Now we're heading over to Oak Hills today for the first stop on our neighborhood tour of the top 5 neighborhoods. Oak Hills is definitely a West Side neighborhood, but a little bit on the older side, and we'll talk more about it when we get there. Okay. Here we are in Oak Hills, although I kind of forgot to do an intro, right, about what this whole video is about while I was getting in the car and coming over here. So I'll go ahead and do it now. Today we're talking about the 5 best suburbs to live in Portland, or in the Portland area, right? Based on the 2025 rankings from niche.com. So they aren't just my hot takes about what's happening in the burbs here. I've got plenty of those. These are based on real reviews from real people who've actually lived here. So if you're planning to move to Portland, just curious about what your tax dollars are doing out here in the burbs, or wondering where to buy a house without, needing to sell a kidney to do it, this video is for you. Oh, and I've got tons and tons of personal stories tied to almost every single one of these locations, because as it turns out, being a real estate agent and a soccer dad means I've basically spent the last 20 years standing in suburban soccer fields, holding my coffee and freezing my ass off. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, Oak Hills. Coming in at number 5 is Oak Hills. It's tucked between Bethany and Cedar Mill. It's kind of Portland's best kept secret. Though based on these rankings, the secret's obviously getting out. The place is kind of mid-century modern, lots of charm, lots of homes built in the 60s and 70s with big windows and big yards. The kind of curb appeal that screams, I do all my own gardening and I have strong opinions about mulch. Median home price here? Only about $650,000, which, given Portland prices these days, is practically a bargain. But here's what I love about Oak Hills. It's not just it's a neighborhood, it's a community. There's a rec center, tennis courts, pools, walking trails. It honestly feels like a throwback to when people actually hung out with their neighbors, right? If you got kids, this is the kind of place where you want to let them still ride their bike in a loop and end up back home in one place, right? You're also super close to shopping in Cedar Mill, the Nike campus, and some pretty decent eats, though it's more of a kind of grab a pizza with the team after practice than a foodie paradise. The houses here are pretty awesome, right? They got these kind of, like we talked about, kind of very nice mid-century moderns, 60s and 70s ranch-style houses. Obviously, the houses here are all really well kept. It's actually a really, really nice place to live that's not too far from the center of town. So Oak Hills it's no reason, it's no wonder that Oak Hills is so popular and it's ranked so high on niche.com. To add to the sense of community here, they got this kind of beautiful rec center. I don't know if you can see this behind me. It's a really nice community area. And, obviously people love it here. Well, in terms of shopping in Oak Hills, there's not a ton because it's fairly suburban, but it does have this real nice kind of little strip mall that's got most of what you need, right? There's the Oak Hills Brew Pub. There's an Oak Hills Dentistry office here, Pizzicato, even a nail salon. And then, of course, there's the obligatory suburban car wash. Well, I'd say that wraps it up for our Oak Hills segment. Off to the next one. Okay, yeah, next up is Cedar Hills, coming in number 4, right? And so if you're sensing a theme with these burbs, yeah, this is where the action is. Well, and the rec centers, right? Here's another rec center here. Cedar Hills sits just west of downtown Portland, sandwiched between Beaverton and the city. You get kind of all the convenience of urban life with all that weird stuff that comes with actually living in Portland. I'm looking at you, naked unicyclist guy. Median home price here is around $580,000, and the big draw here is the mid-century ranch-style homes, kind of single level living, big windows and yards. Host a barbecue without bumping into your neighbor's fence. One thing that's changed though in a big way is Cedar Hills Crossing, which is where we're heading next, and we'll talk about it then. Okay, quick stop on the way. Commonwealth Park is kind of right at the heart of Cedar Hills, and it's a really awesome place to come and just sit and chill and relax, maybe have a picnic lunch or something. I've spent way too many evenings out here in the freezing cold watching soccer practices, but I love this place anyways. Here in Commonwealth Lake Park, if I was going to say the name correctly, you can see there's a beautiful walking path and obviously a lake. But it's quite a ways around this path where you can often see geese and all kinds of fowl and fishing even. Okay, one thing that's changed in a big way is Cedar Hills Crossing. Not too long ago, this place was a half-empty strip mall, the type with one open business, 2 payday loan places, and a pizza spot that may or may not give you food poisoning. But over the last 5 years or so, it's been completely revamped. Now it's a full-blown shopping and dining destination. It's huge. It's got REI, a Shake Shack. It's got even a smoothie bar, a cookie place to go to. Even Bamboo Sushi, which is one of my favorite sushi places to go here in Portland. My wife and I actually went to on a date night the other night, and we went to Bamboo Sushi first, and then we went right over there and saw a movie. We saw the new Avengers movie. Not a bad movie, actually. Anyways, this is Cedar Hills Crossing, which is really close and into all things Cedar Hills. Take a look around. Okay, coming to number 3, we got Cedar Mill. Now, Cedar Mills is kind of Cedar Hills' slightly more buttoned up cousin. It's like if Cedar Hills owns a Subaru, Cedar Mill drives a newer Audi and drinks pour-over coffee. Median home price here is about $869,000. So yeah, it's a step up, and you're definitely paying for that kind of quiet tree-lined bliss. Cedar Mill has some of the best access to Forest Park, which is relatively nearby. So if you're big on hiking, biking, or pretending you're training for an Ironman, you'll be right at home. It's also got tons of newer construction mixed in with traditional homes. So you can go to Craftsman or go full cul-de-sac luxury, right? Behind me here is the Cedar Mill Library. My daughter used to come here when she was little, and she would check out 30 books at a time. We actually had to have them put them in a bag because she couldn't carry all of them out of the library. We had to cap her at 30. Anyways, crazy. This library has been here for a long time. So like I said, the houses here are a mix of 60s and 70s homes mixed with new construction that's kind of further up the hill here. The schools here are top tier, kind of part of the Beaverton School District. People actually move here just to be in the school district. And the streets, pretty quiet, right? Like spooky quiet. You might even feel compelled to whisper when you're walking your dog. I actually had one couple once buy a house here because they said the streets were quiet enough to hear your thoughts. Romantic? Sure. Creepy? Maybe a little bit. But hey, to each their own. Cedar Mill is still a great neighborhood to live in no matter what. Okay, coming in hot at number 2 is Lake Oswego. It's fancy, it's clean, the lake is private, the homes are stunning. It's kind of like where Pinterest comes to live and your wallet comes to die. Oh, and I spend way too much time here because of Kira's behind me for gluten-free cupcakes. Kira's is a gluten-free bake shop, and if you're gluten-free or if your kid has celiac disease like mine, it's a lifesaver. Everything there is gluten-free, and it's also the only bakery where I willingly spent $60 and didn't regret it. Okay, Lake Oswego. If you know anything about Portland suburbs, you know that this one is kind of a flex, right? It's a beautiful place in the middle of or nearby the lake, right? The median home price here is $1.1 million. But if you want a lakefront home, you better be ready to write a check with at least 2 commas. Lake Oswego is gorgeous. Like, Instagram filter doesn't do it justice, kind of gorgeous. And yes, the lake is private. You can't just roll up with your kayak and jump in unless you have a lake easement, which is basically the suburban version of a VIP bottle service. And yes, I'm here all the time, thanks to Cures. We already talked about that. Okay, so schools here in Lake Oswego ranked among the best in Oregon. The whole town is clean, kind of quiet, upscale. Honestly feels like a Hallmark movie, except the snow is replaced with paddleboards, and your neighbors probably work in finance. Okay, heading out of Lake Oswego now. It's a beautiful place. There's a little bit of snobbishness connected to Lake Oswego, but I'll tell you what, I would live here in a minute if only I could afford it. Anyways, headed to Bethany, our #1 neighborhood ranked by niche.com and actual users who live there. See you there. Okay, coming in #1 is Bethany. Now, I'm sitting here in Bethany Village, which is kind of the heart of Bethany. Bethany takes the crown again. Honestly, this place just keeps on winning, and for good reason, right? Bethany is about, I'd say about 20 minutes northwest of downtown Portland. The median home prices are around $800,000. But what do you get? Totally worth it. Bethany is basically a masterclass in suburban planning. Bethany Village, like I said, is right here. It's basically your town center with everything, including groceries, grocery stores, coffee shops, boutique fitness studios, and yeah, plenty of places to grab food after the game. Speaking of which, yep, I spent a shit ton of time on Bethany's soccer fields too. I'm pretty sure I've stood in every park this side of the Willamette watching games and wondering how many layers one dad can wear before he turns into a walking Patagonia I can't even say that. Patagonia catalog. Parks and trails everywhere. Bethany Lake Park, Rock Creek. Let's go take a look. Okay, on our way to Bethany Lake Park, I thought I'd show you at least what some of the typical Bethany neighborhoods look like. As I said earlier, median price range about $800,000. Houses are mostly newer, and neighborhoods are nice and quiet, as you can see. Beautiful houses around here. People love to live here because it's close to Bethany Village, like I said, and everything else in the area, including Bethany Lake Park, Rock Creek Trail, all those kinds of things. So it's a great place for people to have families and live the nice suburban life. Okay, so here we are at Bethany Lake Park. It's got tons of green space, tons of trails for cycling, jogging, or just working out, or just pretending to work out while you're sipping your Starbucks. Schools in Bethany are some of the best, right? Some of the best in the state. People love how new everything feels. Most homes were built in the 90s or 2000s, like I said earlier. There are tons of new developments still going up. It feels polished, but not snobby. So, Bethany, #1. Okay, so that's the 2025 list of the top 5 Portland suburbs, now with more caffeine, more sarcasm, and a lot more time spent on soccer fields than I ever care to admit. If you're thinking about making a move to Portland Metro or just want someone who's walked the neighborhoods and lived through the wild real estate swings, we'd love to help. My info's down below. Text, call, email, or if you're into cryptic communication, bleep it out, send me the Morse code version. And if suburban life isn't quite your thing, check out our other videos where we toured lots of other neighborhoods in and around Portland, Vancouver, Washington. It's like this, but with more street art and fewer cul-de-sacs. Until then, I'll see ya.